it's also been given out in the statement, took a premeditated and planned action and was directly responsible for the resulting violence. How do you think we need to move ahead now, strategically, diplomatically, and on field?
Okay, thank you. The fact of the matter is that this thing has been going on for the last 40 days. And if we follow the events that have gone over for the last 6-7 years, there have been substantial events which have taken place, which have had protected this kind of events happening, where the disengagement doesn't take place, and the protocols and the architecture laid down in the various agreements have not been successful. And one can recount this even from 2012 and now right up to 2020, where, which have had very serious incident today for yesterday night when we lost 20 of our brave hearts. Now, the issue is that, and the discussions on sorting out the line of actual control have been on from 1981. It's been nearly 40 years that we have been discussing. And it has been discussing, and we've been saying that there has been no bullet fired in anger and nobody has lost his life. But in 40 years of discussion, there is not an inch of movement forward on sorting out the line of actual control and discussions actually fructifying. So the event now that comes to is that there have been loss of life and there has been no movement or line of actual control. So what next is the question you're asking. We have to get ready for this protected sorting out of the line of control for a substantial period of time. And such events which may happen, which has happened in Galwan today or Pigongso or anywhere else, may happen more and more in times to come, especially in the summer months. And we have to get prepared strategically, militarily to address the events. And we have to prepare ourselves for that event. And I would say that it is important for us to plan as to when next event happens, how we will handle it. And each event will have a different measure. So you can't take the same template and play it again in the same area or the same. So there has to be a position of strength that we have to reach in each event and then start negotiating. A negotiation from a position of weakness, it actually is like a bully. China is a bully. They're trying to force us down because they think they are in a better position. But that should not happen. We should get on to a position of strength and discuss the issue.
Well, let me also bring in General VP Malik, former Army Chief, to this discussion. General VP Malik, what we've essentially seen, the heightened tensions on the line of actual control. Perhaps the last time a similar sort of tension was witnessed in 1975 when Assam rifle troopers were ambushed. Now, in that particular backdrop, what we have essentially witnessed on the night of 15th and 16th of June, many would say that China has openly backstabbed. How would you take a look at the talks that would take place, or the military level talks that would take place to try and diffuse the current situation? Would you see a change on the part of the Indian side?
I don't think it is fair to compare this particular incident with the Lungla incident. If you ask me, this incident has taken place like the one which we had in Lungla in 1967. Of course, there were much larger number of casualties on either side. But those circumstances that in which this particular incident has taken place is quite similar to the incident at Natula in 1967. And since then, I think this is the largest number of casualties we have suffered along the line of actual control in any one incident. Now, we were talking about the whole. I think we've reached a turning point in our relations with China. And it is quite obvious from the speech or from the message that the Prime Minister gave today and what the whole nation is thinking today. And we have to look at it not just militarily, but also as a matter of policy in the complete panorama of the relationship that we have at the geopolitical level, at the tech level, at the economic level, and also, of course, the military level. I personally feel that we will have to be very, very cautious hereafter as far as the military level dialogue is concerned. Today, we do not have any option of military dialogue. It has already been exhausted, and we are seeing today a dialogue between the foreign ministers at the diplomatic level to try and diffuse the situation. While we continue with our dialogue, as far as this situation is concerned, at the diplomatic and political level, the armed forces will have to remain ready, because our first and the foremost and the most important demand has to be that the Chinese must withdraw to their side of line of actual control. And till that happens, our troops, not only in Galwan Valley, but elsewhere also will have to be ready, because you cannot trust the Chinese PA anymore. After what has happened, they agreed to disengage on 6th and and 2 days later, they not only refused to do that, but they also got into the kind of incident that took place day before yesterday. So today the trust level at the military level is not there. The whole thing has to continue at the diplomatic level, at the political level. And while we're carrying out a review of the whole policy in the full spectrum of our policy, as far as the military is concerned, we have to be ready to, in case there is a requirement for any military action, either to defend ourselves or, if need be, to try and recapture the lost area. But of course, hopefully that kind of situation will not occur, because I believe it is neither in the interest of China nor India to escalate the whole situation. And I do hope that the Chinese will learn a lesson from here now. And as I said, the first demand has to be to withdraw to their to their side of the line of actual control. Second thing I must also tell you, unless the line of actual control is delineated on the map, and also the disputed areas are delineated on the map, these kind of skirmishes can take place anytime again also. And in the recent past, we've had a bad history of such incidents taking place. There is no question of asking our military any longer to carry out those Gutham Gutta ki ladai, or shoving each other, or throwing stones at each other. I hope we will review our SOPs, our rules of engagement, that our troops do not get into that kind of situation.
And therefore,
we have to have a